Hello and welcome to the Solve Network. I'm Shane Borza, host of the podcast. Along with my co-founder Benjamin Goss, we'd like to welcome you. Our mission is to provide solutions and create a network of experts for you to learn from. We hope this episode and expert helps you to learn, grow, and move forward. And now, on with the show.
Hey, my name is James. I'm a lawyer who's always been interested in optimal human performance, and that's how I found Shane. If you're looking to upgrade your mental and physical fitness, then the Ultimate Performance course is for you. It's the key to performing better at work, at home, and in all of life's challenges. I've also found it to be a great community of like-minded and supportive professionals. As Shane says, together, everyone accomplishes more.
Want to have your ultimate performance or find out more about how to optimize your mind and body fitness? Contact me at shaneborza.com and see if the DIY or the group program would be best for you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Solve Network's Guest Expert Series. My name is Shane Borza, and along with my co-founder, Benjamin Goss, we're happy to have you here with us. I'm really excited tonight. My good friend, Dr. Phil Alexander, is here, and he is going to be talking to us about the 3 steps to achieving inner peace. And I think he is uniquely placed to talk about that because he is not only a spiritual teacher, an artist, predominantly a singer-songwriter, but he's also a holistic doctor, a thought leader, an author, and a coach. So he has a very holistic approach to teaching, learning, and sharing his knowledge with others. So I'm really excited to see his presentation, which I haven't seen yet, and I'm sure is going to be amazing, as well as have some Q&A afterwards. So without further ado, please take it away.
Thanks, Shane. And welcome, guys, to 3 steps to achieving inner peace for high-performing entrepreneurs and achievers experiencing overwhelm. And yes, my name is Dr. Philip Alexander. I also go by my spiritual name, Maitreya. And I'm just so excited and so joyful to be able to be here and share my teachings and my wisdom that I've picked up along the way with you guys. So let's do this. All right, so this presentation is for you if you seek change, you wish to become emotionally and mentally free. You want to create a fulfilling life and manifest abundance in your life. And I can tell you that from what I've experienced in my life, anything and everything is totally possible. You just need to believe. How to get the most out of this training. I invite you to be present here on this presentation because there's going to be a lot of nuggets that I'm going to drop for you guys here. Take loads of notes and ask questions. So what we'll cover today. We will talk about what divine intelligence is. And there's so many ways of describing what divine intelligence is. Everyone has their own interpretation of what that looks like, but we will explore that. What happens when you access divine intelligence, and I will offer an opportunity to also work with me. I promise that this will not be a waste of your time. I will give you some actionable steps, and I will offer the next step for you for those that would like to take it. So 3 steps that I've developed myself to finding inner peace. And 1 is expanding the mind through practices such as meditation, extrapolating timeless wisdom throughout the ages, and understanding quantum laws. 2, developing self-awareness, being aware of what your thoughts are and your thinking processes. And 3, develop mental willpower, the law of momentum. And that is basically everything, really. the mental strength to be resilient through whatever it is life throws at you, both in action and also through the mind. So yeah, I am a medical doctor. I trained in Hungary and went on a bit of a journey to leave the profession. And I will share a little bit about that on this presentation. I am a master of consciousness. I am a pastoral care practitioner, spiritual teacher, and I'm also a singer-songwriter. And as I mentioned before, Maitreya is also another name that I go by, which is my spiritual name. The mirror theory. So we're just going to dive in here, and the brain is a transmitter and receiver of vibrational frequency. So if you took everything in your reality that you get to experience, if you broke everything down, it's all just energy. And we know this. Scientists have broken down everything to an atomic level to understand that everything is made up of electrons, protons, neutrons, and within that is held together through some force of energy or attraction. And we could describe this as vibration. And we also know that we have technology today through satellites, through television, through radio, through Wi-Fi. We take these things for granted, right? But there is some force of nature that gives rise to this technology that we don't visibly see. And so what I'm suggesting here is our brain also has this ability of receiving and transmitting frequency just like a radio tower, except the brain actually has more power and intelligence than we may be aware of. And at the highest vibrational frequency of energy that there is, say, for example, you look at a radio station, you tune into a radio station, a radio frequency, the highest frequency that the brain can transmit through our human body is actually this connection with the divine. And I will explain a little bit more of what that really is. You could call it consciousness. You could call it love, but not the term love as, you know, when someone tells another person or a person you care about, I love you, but it's an unconditional truth. It is the truth. It is what is present in the moment. And really what I'm describing here is something that one tunes into. And it is this that is the highest frequency throughout everything that really orchestrates life on Earth and in the universe. So how do we know that we are this force of energy, of vibration, i.e. we are the universe? We are all that is, that's created, seen and unseen. Well, we have little clues in our life to show us that we are actually the source of everything. If you take here an example of our spine, our spinal column, it is shaped in a curvature, a lordosis kyphosis. And it's interesting because on a macro level, that's the shape of our spine. And on a DNA level, we also have the same curvature, which is frequency. It's a vibration. When you look at light waves of various different frequencies, yet they are also wavelengths too. And we have the same with sound as well. So this is really interesting because just by looking at our environment or just looking at our bodies, it gives us clues to us being connected to everything. Likewise, when you look at our solar system and the universe, really what is occurring is a central planet or star or system that is continually moving, and we have planets and stars rotating around this central star, similarly to the way that protons and electrons circulate around the nucleus of an atom. So this is known as, the term here is fractal, where you can see, basically you could look at a plant and you'd be able to see on a micro level that it's reflective of the greater universe. And there's a saying that goes, as above, so below. We also have evidence here of the Fibonacci spiral, which is known as the golden ratio. It's a mathematical sequence that calculates the universe. And you could see this in anything, whether you look at a seashell, you look at a hurricane, you look at the galaxies. They all follow this kind of spiral, and that's known as the Fibonacci spiral. And here it is. So I mentioned hurricane, and the way that it's calculated is just by adding one number after another. 1 + 1, 2 + 1 equals 3, 3 + 2 equals 5, 5 + 3 equals 8, 8 + 5 equals 13, and so on. And this goes on forever and ever and ever. So this is really interesting, because what we're really getting to here is really understanding that we are connected to everything, right? So, so if we have this evidence here to understand that we are actually the universe, we are part of this ecosystem that we get to live in. What can we deduce, or what can we understand vibration to be? I mean, vibration is one term of describing who we are. We could also term this as energy or frequency. But how it relates to us as a being, as a human, is actually emotion. So our emotion gives us the transmission of frequency through to the ether. And it's through emotional healing and integration that elevates our vibration with the divine, with all that is. And the highest vibration is unconditional love. In other words, it's God, the universe, truth. It can't be lied about or lied to. It's an innate knowing that this is the truth. And to get to that experience is to uncover the generational and familial conditionings that all of us as humans have been through and conditioned to think, rather than feel and experience our connection to everything around us. So the biggest challenge to get to unconditional love requires the commitment and dedication to self-awareness, being aware of your emotions and letting go of them. So our human mechanism, it's a survival mechanism, is to shy away from fear, shy away from pain or anything that's negative. It's a survival mechanism. It's designed in a way. We as mammals are designed to protect ourselves from predators, and through emotion, the body also responds the same. Yet we also know that if all that exists in our universe and on our planet is one and the same, we could then understand that this energy, this force, this consciousness embraces everything, no matter what it looks like or what it is. And so when the human mind embraces all the emotions, just as the universe does, that's when we are fully aligned with the greater cosmos. So alignment with divine intelligence gives you the awareness of what you are attracting into your reality. And that's where you take your power, and that's when you realize that anything and everything is possible. So here I want to share with you a paradigm shift, because this is pretty huge. How we get to this unknowingness that we are the divine, we are the universe, actually starts with ignorance. Ignorance meaning that I don't even know that I'm the source of creation. I just popped out of my mum's belly, and here I am, and I'm just gonna go and do what life throws at me. And it's actually, if you don't have information, right, as with anything, it makes life a little bit more challenging. So in this sense, if you're not aware that you are the universe, what occurs is as life throws its challenges at you, it can throw you into this spiral of doubt. And the more doubt that you have about anything in your life, it breeds fear. And as you have more fear in your life, it causes anxiety. And as you have these emotions floating around in your body and in your mind, it leads to suppression. In other words, lack of expression, lack of excitement, joy, drive for life. And as we know, if you're not driven to do anything in your life, or to enjoy every moment of your life, what occurs is you start to regress, as not only through the mind but also through your body, and ultimately it actually leads to death in all aspects, both mentally and physically. So when you're able to see your darkness, that means that you're able to do something about it. If you're not aware that you're going through some kind of struggle, then you'll be forever lost. And I've got this analogy or this picture here of a dark hole, right? Just like the universe. So in contrast, if we do have the awareness, we have the knowledge that we have some connection to the experience that we're having as a human body, a human form, born into this world, we can explore more of what this knowledge is. And when you start to pick up things that actually, I am connected to everything in my reality, and I have the power. I am the creator, and I can do whatever I want. You would then lean more into learning more about that. How could that be possible? You study, and that actually cultivates faith, because as human beings, we need a little bit of evidence. We're wired that way to give us a little bit of a boost to take that leap of faith. And you'll find that when you do take that leap of faith, it actually leads to excitement. It's the excitement of not knowing what's coming up, but you sort of know that something amazing is about to take place. And it's in this emotion, this state of being, that that is where you will find yourself being in a state of creativity, of expression, of expansion, and your life will become the mirror of that. So there's also a term known as the flow state, which is the path of least resistance. And the flow state is really alignment with the divine, with divine intelligence. There are many ways to identify your alignment. One of them would be when you start noticing synchronicities in your life, coincidences. You'd start to develop telepathic abilities. You start noticing that you have psychic abilities, such as being able to see something in your mind before it's about to happen. I mean, who's had those kind of experiences but just brushed it off? Being able to sense somebody's about to call you and that person calls you in that moment. So these things are not coincidental. It's actually what it is it's that you're actually the universe, and you're connected with everything that is the universe. So it makes sense that you are the central point of what is transpiring in your life. So what is the biggest challenge to realizing this? What is the biggest challenge to realizing this? The biggest challenge is it's the ancestral, generational, familial, and environmental beliefs, thought patterns that's causing you emotional suffering. And it's not just that. It's also the conditioning of the planet. It's the state of how the planet is feeling. And it's almost like a mountain to climb for humanity. But if we can actually reprogram ourselves from limiting beliefs, from thought patterns that causes us to regress instead of expand, we have a fighting chance of being the creators that we deserve to be. So a little bit about my story. My background is Sri Lankan, and in Sri Lanka there was a civil war that my family escaped for their lives and migrated to Australia in the 80s. And so there was a consciousness or a thought pattern there within my family that was victimhood. You know, being afraid to disobey the law, even if it was wrong. You know, even if it meant that to voice one's opinion would cost your life, was sort of the situation in Sri Lanka at that time. And as I was born into this dynamic, I noticed that I started having low self-esteem. I was doubting myself. And in order to validate myself of the low self-esteem that I had, I spent half of my life striving for academic achievement, which is also in my culture is how people get their self-worth is through education. And when I received my medical degree, that's when I had this realization that actually this isn't as fulfilling as I once thought it would be. And who's had that experience where you go after this goal and you have it and then you realize that wasn't it? It was at that point that and it was also at the point where my family were going through some challenges that I then started questioning, whether I wanted to practice medicine. And I quit the medical profession amidst opposition from friends and family who didn't understand why I decided to turn my back on something that I worked so hard for to achieve. So that's me graduating in Hungary as a doctor. One of the greatest moments of my life, and hard earned. And this is me in Sri Lanka, where even though I was brought up in Australia, I always try to understand the roots of where I came from and understand why my family and the family and the ancestry that I come from, why do they carry these patterns? And it really comes from this sense of suffering, human suffering, not having enough. And one of my missions is actually to develop areas across the globe, but particularly what rings home for me is in Sri Lanka and South India, where a lot of people are going through or recovering from trauma from the war, and also finding it difficult to make a living. So there's a project that I'm supporting, and it is to give people employment in a place where there is not much employment for people to work in, and also to generate sustainable living, generating natural organic foods for the rest of the population, something that northern Sri Lanka didn't have access to. Okay, so the third part of the 3 steps of achieving inner peace is the power of will. So we know there's a formula known as the law of momentum, and that is force equals mass times acceleration. And this law actually applies to everything in life. It applies to inspiration. So you'll notice that when you have more drive, when you have more inspiration, the more that you pour into that inspiration, it increases and it overcomes the stagnation or the emotional resistance in yourself, whatever way that shows up in. Your perseverance, your resilience can override that. And what actually transpires the more you persevere with your drive is you begin to self-realize yourself as the divine creator. And what happens from that point is life takes on another trajectory. You start finding yourself making choices that supports your knowing experience that you are the creator, and you'll find that life just starts shifting in a direction in ways that you would never have imagined. So all things in reality is energy, and when you give, the vibrational expression of emotion is mirrored into physical reality to reflect the truth. And that truth is that you are the divine creator, right? You are connected to everything. And so the vibrational expression of emotion of giving is amplified when you give in service. And that's actually what a lot of high-performing entrepreneurs, highly successful people in the world, one of their mantras is actually, how do I serve? How do I serve the population? How do I serve the world? How do I make this world a better place? And it's not just through action either. It's actually internally having this intention of service. How do I serve this moment? How do I make this moment to be even more fruitful for everyone? And what happens when you're in this state of service is it actually generates a natural frequency of joy. Okay, so now we're going to go into a little bit of of neuroscience, and each thought in our brain is actually a neuronal synapse. And that neuronal synapse holds an emotional charge. So if you could imagine that, how many thoughts, we have thousands of thoughts floating through our brains in a day. And the more that we think about a certain thing, and it might be an addiction, it might be a habit, whatever it may be, the reoccurring thought pattern of that actually hardwires the neuronal synapse for that thought. And it gets imprinted into not only your brain, not only the neural hormonal chemistry, it not only has an effect on that, but actually gets imprinted into your DNA as well. And that's tied in together with emotion and memory, and it just gets so hardwired. And you can understand that when a child gets born into this world with a clean slate and no thought at all, and then adopts all of the patterns of the world, and that's what happens as we grow into adulthood. We have these hardwired neural pathways, and that can either be empowering or disempowering. So rewiring the brain to emotions of gratitude, selflessness, unconditional love, and surrender raises your frequency to the divine. And in this state, you have the awareness to access information and manifest anything at will. Now, the reason why these particular emotions aligns you with the universe is because the universe is inclusive. The universe is love, right? And unconditional love, meaning that it loves no matter what, because it already knows itself, it experiences itself as itself. So it has to be inclusive, no matter what it looks like. It might be the darkest part of the universe. It might be the darkest part of this planet. It has to love it. So it's really incumbent for us as human beings to have the resilience to be able to love everything and anything. And from that state of unconditional love, not the mind's version of love. And what occurs then is that you then become aligned with the universe that is unconditional in its love, because it is inclusive. So through practice and learning from, for example, masters, you will unconsciously develop the habit to stay in the vibration of the divine and being the creator of your reality. So 3 steps to free yourself from an emotional trigger. So an emotional trigger, I should say, is when you feel overwhelmed. It's when a circumstance happens in your life, whether it's a conversation, a situation, an event, and you feel overwhelmed, you feel anxiety from that moment. And the first thing that you should do when that occurs is just firstly take a deep breath, and then notice that you are experiencing overwhelm. Because more often than not, what people tend to do is we brush it off and we ignore the fact that we're in overwhelm. But when you are aware that you're experiencing something, you then have the ability and the power to do something about it. So once you're aware that you're experiencing a certain type of emotion, the second step is to name the emotion that you're experiencing. And not just name it, but to describe it. Describe it and understand what this emotion represents. Because you'll find that the more that you are able to understand the source and the meaning behind why the emotion is there, the emotional charge of that emotion starts to dissipate. And from that point, to release the emotion as a source of energy, because everything is energy in different forms, emotion can get stuck in the body. It's known as the somatic body. Emotion gets stuck in the body, and we need to find a way to release that emotion out of the body. And some of the ways of doing that is actually literally by crying. Releasing tears actually releases the crystals of the emotion that's then formed in crystallized form through tears and gets released out of the body. And that's one way. Drinking water and releasing through your urinary tract. Exercise, sweating, laughing. You'll notice that if you're in a really bad mood and you go into a fit of laughter, there's a somatic sense that occurs in your body. You will notice that there's a shift inside your body that occurs when you go that little bit extra effort to shift how you're feeling, and it has to really feel like it's coming out of your body. So make a conscious decision to pivot into another emotion. And that can be through a certain activity, which I mentioned, such as listening to music, meditation, exercise, laughing, to name a few things. So here's some timeless wisdom, and this is why wisdom throughout the ages is speaking about this truth that I'm sharing here. This is from the Gospel of Thomas, which isn't a well-known book, from Jesus, stated from Jesus. The kingdom of God is within you and all around you, yet you do not see it. And so I broke this down because for me, I need to extrapolate, understand what this wisdom means. Is it applicable to my life? And it is. When I accept this with honesty, I see the divine. That statement, the kingdom of God is within me and all around me, yet you do not see it. So the kingdom of God refers to the fabric of existence, which is reality experienced both in material and non-material form. To see the kingdom of God, I do so by acknowledging the fact that I cannot see it. The acknowledgement of this gives me the ability to see that which I cannot see. So everyone in this world is trying to search for a meaning, search for God, but you can't see God. God isn't somewhere where you point to up in the heavens, up in the sky. It's unseeable. And when you accept that is when you begin to experience yourself as God and your connection and to God and literally see how God actually manifests in this world. And God is just a term because there's so many ways of describing God, right? So how do you get to a state of emotional freedom? Set an intention for what you choose to manifest. And that could be a relationship or a career choice or what you want to create in your life. Whatever it may be, set an intention in your mind that that's what you want. And then align your thoughts and emotions and behavior to the frequency of that intention as if you already have it. And then watch your intention manifest to life. And when it happens, it beggars belief. And the rate of that manifestation occurring, it corresponds to the amount of emotional work that you've done, this unraveling of the conditioning that you were brought up with. So, one of the points here that I want to reiterate is aligning your thoughts and emotions and behavior to the frequency of the intention as if you already have it, right? Because if God, the universe, is unseen and you are the universe, all you need to do is you need to align your thoughts and emotions, and you need to back that with faith all the way to whatever it is that you want as if you already have it. And with resilience through time, you'll find that things will pop up in your life. And it's like, how did that happen? Oh, yeah, because I'm the universe. And you just got to keep working at it until you see your creation manifest to life. Here's some other timeless wisdoms. This is from the Upanishads. Why should there be a reservoir when there is a flood everywhere? This is my extrapolation. The reservoir resembles my attachment to what is known because I'm afraid to trust in what is unknown. When I trust the unknown reveals itself to be known, and the reservoir makes way for the flood of joy and abundance that I was not aware existed. So isn't that always the case, that we think, whatever we want is in a certain direction, in a certain place, but it's actually in the places where I don't see, that is where the gold is. So I've done this work basically all my life in different ways, but I've aligned CEOs, entrepreneurs, and doctors to achieving acceptance, balance, and inner peace in their lives through neutralizing anxiety, healing relationships, overcoming addictions, resolving childhood traumas, strengthening mental willpower, and manifesting wealth and abundance. And my mission is to create embodied human beings that can usher in a consciousness of empowerment and freedom on the planet, which is what I believe we're all here to do at this time. And these are just some of my testimonials of people working with me. And this is a program that I wish to offer to you guys, which is part of the Pono Quest tribe. And it's Access Your Heart Intelligence, which is a deep dive into connecting to your heart. And the heart is really the portal to the universe. It's the center of emotion. And I break this down in 4 weeks of understanding what your purpose is in life. Your purpose is to realize that you are the purpose. You just need to be yourself because you were created in the unique individual way that you are, and you don't need to be anything else other than yourself. Week 2 is understanding this notion of being an empath, someone who can sense things through their emotions, which we all do. It's just a matter of whether you're aware of this phenomenon or not. And week 3, discerning the truth. How do you tell the truth from a lie? And through week 4, in our final week, we traverse the unknown territory of consciousness, being able to trust and lean into your fears, which is where all the gold is. So this program is actually quite affordable that I've made it, which is $14.97 for 4 weeks, and 10% of the funds of the course will be donated to Smart Farming Jaffna, which is the farm that is creating a sustainable living for the people over there that have gone through a lot of trauma through the Civil War. And here's what you get: 4 weeks, which will be broken up through 12 modules, 2 45-minute Q&A classes online via Zoom, and that would be every fortnight, Sunday, 5 p.m. PST. and access to the Heart Intelligence Mastermind container. And I will be holding each of you accountable to step into the highest version of yourself, and to back yourself. And I encourage, not just encourage, but I will be holding you accountable to showing up on live videos and raising not only your vibration, but also the group's vibration in the container. Because if we all collectively work together and raise our vibrations together, that's where the explosion in the cosmos occurs. And that is the link that that you can go to if this is something that resonates with you. And thank you for watching this presentation. Shane, over to you.
Thanks, Dr. Phil. That was really fantastic. I feel like it was on one hand, it flowed very well. On the other hand, it was like very dense. And so I'm really glad I took notes, because I'm not only going to send them out to everyone, but also want to go through that even again. And so first, I just want to thank you. And like when I introduced you, you have a number of different aspects to your background and your studies and things that you do. And I feel like this was a really good holistic reflection of all those different aspects of yourself, because there was science in here, there was faith in here, there was this openness, there is a knowing, there was a questioning, there's energy, there's spirituality, and knowing you, that perfectly encapsulates what I know of you already.
Yeah,
but it also made me very curious to get to know you even better. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a joy.
Scene one, Apple, take one.
Hi, I'm Shane Borza, your content creator coach. I have 2 books on filmmaking, Film Notes, where you learn to write, direct, and produce, and the Film Notes Workbook, where you can learn checklists and paperwork to streamline creating your content. Available at shaneborza.com. I also have filmmaker resources like the Paperwork Bundle with over 300 documents, the Sound Effects Bundle with almost 3,000 files, and the Music Bundle featuring 900 tracks of all genres. Want to build your professional credits? Become an associate producer and get listed on IMDb. Let me help you get your art out into the world.
Scene one, Apple, take one.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Solve Network. These interviews are from our web series of the same name. Want to watch? Head over to YouTube and search for the Solve Network. If you have questions, you can reach out to me at shaneborza.com. On behalf of my co-founder, Benjamin Goss, we're glad you are a part of the network and hope you are finding solutions. If you need solutions, please reach out.